Hello, guys, and welcome back to a special edition of the FSF Podcast. Our guest today is no stranger to fans of the Power Ranger universe, having starred in both Power Rangers, Dino Thunder, and Ninja Storm, playing the roles of Marah and Cassidy Cornell. But you've also seen her in movies like Left 4 Dead and Atomic Twister. Now, you'll have the opportunity to meet our guest in person at the Monroe Comic Con in Monroe, Michigan on September 12th and 13th. I mean, you can say hi to me too. I'll be there, but I'm guessing you're going to want to say hi to her instead. And frankly, I wouldn't blame you because she's a lot cooler than me. And that's why I wanted to try and get her on the show. Anyway, all that being said, I am ridiculously excited and happy to introduce you guys to Katrina Devine. Welcome to the show, Katrina.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. When you said yes, I was talking to my wife. She was sitting on the couch next to me. I'm like, she said, oh my God, she said yes. So
I wish everyone was that excited.
Oh yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of people who are that excited come Monroe. So there's so guys, like we said, we'll get into this in a little bit more here. But if you haven't had a chance, tickets are still available. It's a really reasonably priced Comic-Con and very family friendly. And there's a really cool cosplay contest on Saturday. So you guys, if you're looking to be involved in cosplay, check that out.
Yes, come see me.
Absolutely. Come see Katrina. Get a picture, get something signed. You'll have lots of fun. All right, Katrina. So one of the first things I do on this show is because I'm the type of person who likes to know what makes people tick, why they do what they do, why they got involved in the career that they got involved with. So, and I'm a giant nerd, and origin stories are just like super duper cool. So in the origin story of Katrina Devine, what made you say, I want to be an entertainer?
So I was always dancing and performing for my family. Like whenever they would watch television, I would be standing in front of the television while they're trying to watch their program, going, look at me, look at me. Whether it was, singing, dancing, reciting something. And then I got to about 12 and I said to my mum, I said, I'm going to be an actor. And she said, are you? You've been acting your whole life. So then I got her to take pictures of me. We sent it off to an agency and I got an audition. And my first audition was actually for Shorten Street. It's a series in New Zealand. Lots of people on Power Rangers have started in Shorten Street, actually. And so I got the part. It was my first audition and I nailed it. And then I worked on that show from I was 13 till I was 20. So that was my first experience. I'd never been to drama school. I'd never taken an acting class. I was just, used to performing for my family in front of the television. And here I was as a 13-year-old starring in our #1 show in New Zealand. So yeah, that was my drama school. My drama school was a soap opera. That's where I trained.
That's very cool. I can't say that I know of very many other guests that I've had on the show that went, right from an audition into some form of work where it was, that's kind of a unique portion of a story.
I was very fortunate, I have to say, because it was my first audition, but then that's how I thought things worked. I just thought you audition and then you just get the part. Needless to say, later my ego was crushed many times.
Well, I mean, you did have a certain success rate there right off the bat.
I did. Yeah, I did. I was quite fortunate.
Yeah, that 1-for-1 is going to spoil you for a little bit.
It really does. Yeah, and then I think after Shorten Street, I auditioned for Xena. I worked on their second to last episode, Last of the Centaurs, and I got that as well. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm just nailing it all over the place. Yeah, it wasn't until later on that things changed.
Well, I mean, we got to have something that helps keep us humble a little bit. So I mean,
definitely. My mother was for that though. She was very good at keeping me grounded and humble.
Fair. Okay. So she's doing the job that a mom should do. Help
keep
her kids in check. All right. I can appreciate that. But yeah, so moving up. Now, did you ever and it's just out of curiosity now, you said that you didn't go to an acting or a drama school, and you said that the soap opera was your drama school. Did you take any acting classes past that point, or?
No, well, like, while we were doing the soap opera, they had a lot of workshops and stuff with a lot of leading
Oh,
like
okay.
New Zealand actors and stuff. So throughout my period of time on Shorten Street, we did a lot of workshop and acting classes and stuff like that, which was amazing. And I was working with some of the top New Zealand actors, so that in itself was pretty amazing. Take notes like while on set.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because you're diving into the deep end of the pool right there. So yeah,
Yeah,
being
fast
able to have
turnaround
that.
television, it really is. I mean, like,
Yeah.
just even like learning lines and everything. You're shooting sometimes 19 scenes in a day. So it really is like throw you in the deep end, sink or swim kind of training.
Well, yeah. So okay. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense as to why you wouldn't need as much training, because now you've had this experience. You're able to work with and rub elbows with some of the bigger names in acting there, and the fact that they were having workshops for you, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was wonderful. They're really good at like keeping the training up and honing your skills and not just, not having just the TV show as part of it. Yeah, it was a really good training ground actually.
All right, excellent. And how much later was it after the soap opera and Xena that you were able to book your first Power Rangers?
Oh, that was pretty soon, actually. I worked on Xena in 2001, and I think Ninja Storm was 2003 or 2002. It was pretty soon after, actually, that I got
Okay.
Power Rangers. I actually auditioned because Ninja Storm was first, and that was the first series to be filmed in New Zealand. And I auditioned actually for the Blue Power Ranger, but I didn't get it. They thought I was funny. And and so I got cast as the funny villain. Damn it! I really wanted to be a Power Ranger.
Damn
And
sense of
then,
humor.
and then my second series, Dino Thunder, they wrote the part for me, but they still made me audition. They said when I went to the audition, the casting director said, "So we've been told we want someone like Katrina Devine." I'm like, if I don't get this, there's a problem.
How much more Katrina
Well, I
Devine
think
do I need to
I
be?
can do this.
Yeah. How much more Katrina Devine do I need to be
I
Katrina
know. Like,
Devine?
yeah, how does that work? Like, how much Katrina Devine do you want?
60%, 70? What's the
Yeah.
gauge here?
How far do I go?
All right. Well, let me ask you this question and follow up then to the statement you just made a moment ago, because with the Power Rangers, you've played the popular reporter, Cassidy, and then you've played the villain, Marah.
Yes.
So you mentioned, though, that you would have loved to have been the Blue Ranger, but is there another character outside of that you thought, man, that one would be fun to play?
To play. No, I really liked my characters. I think it was just the Power Ranger that was so completely opposite, because it was the first one I was the evil villain. I was always trying to like destroy them, and then the second time I was just trying to uncover their identity. So it would have just been fun to actually be one. That
Right.
would have been the ultimate, I think.
Okay. No, I think that, yeah, because I think that if you're going on to a show that is like the Power Rangers, I think the immediate draw is, well, I want to be in one of those suits.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
Even though it's spandex, and most girls don't want to be in spandex, but you get past that. Um,
most guys don't want to be in spandex either, if we're being
Oh,
honest.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's probably worse for guys, actually, to be honest.
yeah. There's certain problems in of itself that when it comes to spandex. So
Yeah, there's a lot of advertising going on.
bingo, advertising. All right, we're gonna use that one later. I'm gonna write that one down. Hey, honey, I'm advertising. Okay. Anyway, all right. Yeah, yeah. I thought about that because I was looking at the characters that you played, and because there's a nice contrast between those two with their personalities and the way that even in appearance and the way that they because honestly, until I did the research, I didn't know that you played both characters.
So many people didn't, which, you know what, I actually find that quite a compliment, because it shows that it was two like completely different characters and I played them
Yeah.
differently. So most people didn't know, and then they were like, oh my goodness, it's actually the same girl playing like two different parts. So yeah, that's definitely a compliment.
Well, good, because I was intending it as that. I always love it when I don't recognize somebody from one part to another because they've invested themselves so deeply in the character and they've worked so hard to what they're doing. And I think that's what you did here is that you have these two characters, and I love the scene where they walk past each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Because
that girl is so pretty, but I am
it's so
so
pretty.
much prettier.
Exactly that one. Yeah, I got a good chuckle out of that because I didn't catch it at first. That I'm like, oh, that's the same person, and then I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until about a week or two ago that I actually recognized that. I was like, wait a second,
Hang on a minute.
that, that's the same actor, uh, and that's fantastic. So,
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually.
all right, well, that is cool. Yeah, I think that if yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I would definitely want to be one of the guys in the spandex suits, even though
You would want
I
to
am
be an
not.
advertiser.
Yes, even though I am not what you would call a thin mint. Uh, yeah, still there would be the draw to be the guy who's like, what do you do with a guy who's over 40? Well, first we put him in baggy spandex, and then we don't require him to do all the jumping and you know.
Well, but thankfully, you know what, the stunt guys did the majority of the work, so that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. All right, so yeah, so it goes without saying that the Power Rangers obviously is a massive IP. It's a massive property. But what does it mean to be for you, both personally and professionally, to be involved with a franchise like this, where it is so beloved by its fans?
It is so beloved. I was actually blown away. I didn't realize how massive Power Rangers actually was until I attended my first Comic Con, and just the love from all of the fans, and they can literally recite verbatim, line for line, like their
Hmm.
favorite scenes, and it just
Hmm.
it blew my mind. I'm like, you know it more than I do, and I have played the part. Yeah, so it's such an honor and a privilege to be part of such a huge fandom and such a huge show. And I've met like many of the actors now from like all the different series and stuff, and
Okay.
it feels like a big family. I mean, that sounds really cheesy, but it really does. Everyone's so like welcoming and lovely. So and the fans have been like phenomenal and so kind. I even had Petey. He is a huge Power Ranger fan and so kind and lovely. And he bought my costume. They auctioned off our costumes. He bought it and he mailed it to me.
Oh,
So,
that's
and
cool.
that is just like unbelievable. Like that, just speaks to like how kind and wonderful the Power Ranger fandom is. It's just amazing. My heart.
Yeah. It, I think for me, because starting going Comic Cons about 5, 6 years back, I thought it was really interesting because having grown up, and I told somebody else this, and I didn't get into or start liking the Power Rangers till a few years ago. It just when I was a younger, the group of guys that I hung out with were always like, Power Rangers, that's a kid show. We're not anybody who watches that isn't, so
Yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
give into the peer pressure a little bit. And so I didn't watch it. And I was like, oh, it's stupid. It's actually a lot of fun. It's just a tremendous amount of fun.
It
And
really is. I had
yeah,
so much fun working on it. It was
yeah.
amazing.
And there's good storylines, there's good morals taught, there's a lot of good things with the Power Rangers. But I thought the thing that surprised me the most is when I started going to Comic Cons is that so there was obviously there's always voice actors and certain actors that get these long lines and things. But it didn't matter what role somebody from Power Rangers played. They always had a massive line. it's ridiculous. I mean, I mean in a good way. I mean
Yeah,
ridiculous in a
no,
good way.
it's really
I
like
just yeah. Our first year at Monroe, I can't remember. Oh goodness sakes, my brain is just completely just. I can't remember his last name, but his name is Blake. He played a Blue Ranger.
oh yeah.
Um,
Blake's actually going to be at
yeah,
Monroe this
yeah,
year.
he's coming. He's coming again this year. Um, but his line wrapped down and around, and yeah,
Oh yeah, always. Yeah.
it's crazy, crazy. And I saw it with him, you, and Walter Jones. I expect the that this year will be no different in Monroe, and we'll have lots of lines and happy people and looking to get autographs from you.
Yes, I very much
Um,
look forward to it. I've never been to Monroe. I've never been to Michigan actually. So
well, we'll try and break you in gently.
okay.
It's yeah. So yeah, I live on the other side of the state from where the Comic Con is, but it's a nice area. So
Yeah, well,
um,
I'm just outside of Toronto. So my husband is
okay.
actually driving me down. He's a musician. He's driving me down on the Friday morning, and then he has to quickly whip back for a gig, and then he'll
Oh,
come back
okay.
on Saturday.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, so Monroe Comic Con is this upcoming weekend, September 12th and 13th. And so my question here about bringing that date back up is that we're talking about cons and getting to meet lots of people, and there's panels, there's interactions with fans. Is there something that you particularly appreciate about Comic Cons, or maybe you've learned to appreciate about Comic Cons over the years?
I love just meeting the fans and meeting people in person because it's just, yeah, it's so much more intimate. And then just learning why they loved Power Rangers and hearing all the stories. There's like so many different reasons for people watching.
Hmm.
And also the fact that it's goes from like young to old, like, and
Hmm.
everywhere in between. There doesn't seem to be like a particular like male, female, age, range. Like it's just all over the spectrum. And yeah, and I love that. I love meeting people. I'm social anyway. So yeah, it's always so much fun. It's always like a really good energy. And then the panels are great because they remind me of things that I'd forgotten about. And it's always really happy memories. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Do you have any like standout experiences with fans at Comic Cons that when you think about in your interactions, one that stands out?
I've had a mother come up to me. She had a child with autism, and he just loves the Power Rangers and knew my character inside out and could literally recite every line that I've ever said. Blew my mind. And she just was like so thankful to me, but I'm like, I didn't really do anything. Like, your
Right.
child is amazing. Like, this is so wonderful. And I'm actually excited to meet him more than I think
Hmm.
he is to meet me. Yeah, there's just a lot of like touching moments like that. Um, Cosplay, I've also seen like people dressed up as my character, which is always really cool to see. Yeah, there's been so many like wonderful moments. I've performed my Space Girl song with people in the lift, actually, like on my way down to the Comic Con, who were like dressed up, and then we started to, yeah, just yeah, lots of random fun moments too. Yeah, it's been a really great, wonderful experience.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal. Yeah, I think for me, one of the things I've appreciated most about Comic Cons over the last, like I said, the last few years of attending is watching the interactions between uh the people who are there, the attendees and the celebrities that are there who have performed in whatever IP it was that they were a fan of. And there's a couple that always stand out to me when we talk about this topic. This is one that I commonly share. Uh, but a couple years back, some of the voice actors from the X-Men animated series and X-Men 97
Yeah.
were at the Grand Rapids Comic Con, and this gentleman in line in front of me, it was him and his son, and they were dressed up like Wolverine, and we were in line for Cal Dodd, who is the voice of Wolverine. And um, as we get up to the line, it's now their turn to go up and talk with Cal, and he asked Cal, the father, asked if he could give Cal a hug.
Yeah.
And I look over and his wife is crying. He hadn't he was he's heavy on the autism scale, does not like physical contact, always wears gloves so he doesn't have to touch other people,
Yeah.
touch other things. And he took his gloves off to hug Cal Dodd.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it kind of chokes me up just kind of even
Yeah.
talking about it because it was such an amazing scene. And Cal was so beautifully gracious in that moment. And he took extra time with him and his son, and and uh, they wanted a picture with him, and then he signed something. They had like their little Wolverine claws, the ones that
Yeah.
like the little thing that sticks in the hand and it comes out, and he signed the side of their claws, and he's just as a nice thing to do. He didn't
Yeah.
charge him
Those
for it.
moments, you can't beat them.
No.
They just tug at your heartstrings, and it's just such a moment
Yeah.
in time. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's now my turn to walk up after they're all done. They say their thank yous and walk away, and I'm here misty-eyed. He's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" I'm like, "You got any tissue? I'm gonna need some tissue. This is
Yeah, I just
far more
watched everything unfold. I need a moment.
right. This is far more emotional than what I was planning on for
Yeah,
today."
exactly.
So, but I love those moments, and it's always fun to see somebody. To see the super fan meet their person,
Yeah,
their
right. Like
character.
little kids who maybe that's been their
Yeah.
idol, or like I referenced Petey before, who's now like a friend,
Hmm.
said that we got him through a lot of high school, which
Oh,
is
that's
just,
cool.
yeah, it really is. You're like, wow, that's so amazing. Like I wouldn't have thought that, like, me doing my job is that instrumental sometimes in people's lives and what they're going through. So it's really,
Yeah,
it's very emotional at times.
those stories are always crazy cool to hear, and I love it when um when we've had this conversation or a similar conversation on other interviews, and in the comments people will say at a Comic Con, and then they'll share what they've seen, and
Yeah,
it's really cool to see that kind of go around and people sharing that level of love and positivity, and it's very infectious.
it
So
is.
but yeah, so I'm looking forward to that on Friday and Saturday, and
Me
Monroe does a real
too. So excited.
yeah, and Monroe does a really good job of making sure that that the fans have you know a good level of access to to the celebrities, and they can get a chance to see them,
Yeah,
and
that's
they
the
they, they
point,
move
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they move people through really well. I'm very always very impressed with what's going on there. So I'm excited that you're coming, and I think that you'll have a lot of fun there.
Yes, I'm
Uh
very much looking forward to it.
Awesome. But then also now we're talking about Power Rangers, obviously, because that's a lot of what people are going to want to talk to you about when we get to Monroe, and it's a big IP, it gets a lot of eyeballs on it, whether it's the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or it's the most recent Power Rangers movie or the shows in between, a lot of
Yeah,
eyeballs on it. But
it's very true.
I always find that there's with the person that I'm talking to, when they've been part of such a big IP, that there's always something out there that they've worked on that's a heart project, something that they've absolutely loved that just didn't get the eyeballs on it that it needed or should have gotten. Is there a project like that for Katrina Devine where you look back over your resume and you go, as much as I love Power Rangers and as much as I love this thing, boy, I sure wish people would have saw this.
Yeah, I worked on a show in New Zealand called Street Legal, and it was a very dramatic role that I played. It was only one episode, but I loved it, and I haven't even I didn't even get to watch it myself. Actually, I filmed it, and then it's done,
Mhm.
and you don't actually get to like sit down and see it. But I remember feeling at the time it felt really good, and I really wanted to watch it, and I wish that more people could see that more sort of dramatic side of my acting, because a lot of the stuff like people see me in, it's more that sort of like funny
Mhm.
kind of quirky role, whereas I really actually like the dramatic pieces. I like the really like angry or really sad. I very much that's my favorite, but generally not always what I get cast. That, and then I also worked on a music video recently with my husband.
Oh, cool.
That's definitely like a passion project. It's on YouTube, actually. It's called Take That Too by Brad James, and that was fun to film, and also like good memories for us to have to look back on.
That's awesome. Well, I will make sure I'll share a link to that down below, and everybody can check out your husband's music video. So that'll be cool.
Wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, Katrina, we're at a point where I want to ask you for a suggestion, because now in the beginning I told you that I like to know what makes people tick, why they do what they do, because it helps me kind of get an understanding of the person and who they are, and kind of what's kind of going on up in the gray matter with them. And this question kind of goes along that same line. So, what are you reading or listening to that you think everybody else should know about?
Oh my goodness. Not reading anything. This is terrible. I used to read books all the time. That was such my jam. Now I just listen to things as I go to bed beside my ear. Generally true crime. Anything true crime, I'm all over it. This is how I fall asleep at night. It
Awesome.
seems to be a girl thing. Apparently, we all like learning about serial killers and goodness knows what else. I don't know. I think it's because I'm so intrigued as to what makes someone's mind tick to be
Sure.
that insane.
Oh, yeah. I
So
tell my wife she's doing research for how to off me. So,
oh yeah, like literally every husband, I'm pretty sure, thinks that their wife is trying to do something sinister. But yeah, I for some reason I just find it extremely interesting. So yeah, so I listen to a lot of the true crime people. There's Kimberlea, she is one of the people on YouTube. A lot of them are like worth a listen. She's the one I probably listen to the most. And watching everyone, Landman is a show that I'm really into, and season 2 I believe is coming out in November. Billy Bob Thornton, he's quite wonderful.
good show.
And so yeah, anything sort of sinister is normally what makes my mind tick. Sounds terrible, I know, but yeah, for some reason it just really is interesting to me. I actually wanted to go to school to do biological anthropology, like things about DNA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
yeah,
things like that really make my mind tick over.
No, that's cool. I can get behind that. All right. Very, very good. All right, Katrina, we have reached the point in the show where it's time to ask you our silly question.
Okie dokie.
All right. Now, it's not really all that silly. We just like to call it silly.
All
now,
right.
The reason why this question came up is that one of our team members here for the FSF podcast, my dear friend Kathleen, was out with her daughter, and somebody asked her 5.5-year-old daughter this question, but not Kathleen. And Kathleen was like, well, you should never age out of this. So that question is, Katrina Devine, what's your favorite dinosaur?
What's my favorite dinosaur? Oh, what's the one with a really long neck?
The Brontosaurus?
What is it called?
The Brontosaurus?
No, it's not a Brontosaurus though, I don't think. It's oh no, I can't even remember the name of it now, which is terrible because I actually teach kindergarten and the kids are obsessed with dinosaurs. So you think I would know. And it's not the T-Rex because everyone loves him. And it's not the Triceratops. No, it's a Brachiosaurus, I think it's called.
Oh, it might be a yeah, I think it used to be called Brontosaurus. Now they call it Brachiosaurus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. The one with the long neck. I don't know why. It's just that there's something so cute about it.
Okay.
I like the cute dinosaur, not the main one. I want that because if there's got to be a dinosaur, I want it to be nice. And I definitely want it to be a herbivore.
I think that would be a big plus. Yeah. So not endangered, not going to eat me. Leaves? Yeah.
So I'm safe. And then can I ride you? That would be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
You're not going to eat me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Just hold on to the long neck.
Right? I think actually the Brachiosaurus might be the first time we've had somebody mention that one.
Oh, good. I like to be original too.
Well, I think you're being original on that one. I would have to go back and check a whole lot of interviews, but off the top of my head, Boy, I don't know that I've ever gotten the Brachiosaurus before.
Okay, then you have to find out, and then you can tell me in Monroe if I'm the only person that picked the Brachiosaurus. And if that's
I'll
actually
go through a
right.
few. I think there's the one person I can think of that may have answered the same thing, but I'll go back and check her interview. I think it was voice actress Courtney Taylor. I think she had a similar answer to you,
Well,
but it was another
Courtney's got
herbivore.
wonderful taste in dinosaurs. Well done, Courtney.
I'll pass that along.
Yeah, very nice.
Very, very good. All right, so Katrina, thank you so much for being on the FSF Popcast tonight. Where can our listeners go to find out more about you, your work, or anything else you've got going?
My Instagram handle is @DivineCat. So come along there, and I also have a Katrina Devine Facebook page. So yes, come and see me and visit me. I try and post things regularly. Sometimes I'm a bit slack. That's because I have a child, and they demand a lot of attention.
How dare you be a mom and live life?
Yeah, I've got to do that and stuff. It's very demanding. Divine Cat on Instagram, Katrina Devine on Facebook. And then check out my music video with my husband. It's a bit raunchy though.
That's okay. We'll put that as a link down below, and we'll put your links for your personal stuff down in the show notes down below as well. That way everybody can check out not only your stuff, but also your husband's music as well. And guys, we'll also have a link down there for Monroe Comic Con. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, go buy your tickets.
Yes, go buy your tickets. Come and see me.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the VIP pass. It's worth it. Trust me. But yeah, come see Katrina at the in the Celebrity Row. There's going to be panels all weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll find me in the panel room. Hi, that's me. But yeah, we'll go from there. We'll have a lot of fun. And if you haven't already, just want to remind you that following our show here on YouTube is the most important free thing that you can do today. Cost you $0 to follow the FSF Popcast. So click that like and subscribe button, because if you do that, it helps us to get more amazing guests like Katrina Devine here to have these wonderful and fantastic conversations for you to be able to listen to. So please consider following our show. It helps out more than we'll ever really be able to tell you. And it just sounds cool because then we go, oh, we got a new subscriber. Anyway.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes. And who doesn't like to have cool surprises? But make sure that you check out or Katrina's work as well. There's probably a really cool Sabrina out there somewhere.
There probably is, There's Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You can check out her too. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Courtney, my friend with a favorite dinosaur. Check her out too.
Yeah, absolutely. But most importantly, for the purpose of this conversation, check out Katrina's work as well. And come see her in Monroe. But guys, thank you for listening and or watching the FSF Podcast. Thank you to Katrina Devine for being on the show. And may the force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper. Goodbye.
Copyright 2025 FSF Podcast. Reference to any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF Podcast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.